Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is day 8 and the last day here in Bali. I'm a bit emotional because this was my very first international tour which I have traveled solo, and it was a very beautiful journey. I did almost everything that I could possibly do here in Bali, and you can watch all the videos. It's in my Bali playlist. uh, Kuta was very special. Nusa Penida was like out of the world for me, and in Ubud the things were like very different that what you will be getting all over Bali. So I will be, it's 9:25 at the clock, and I'll be checking out from my hotel at 10:12 or maybe 10:15. I'll be booking a grab bike from here which will take almost around 1 hour 15-20 minutes time to reach the Bali airport. So come on, let's go and finish off our backpacking and also the checkout processes. So let me just check out the price from here to the Bali airport once in grab bike, and this has been a constant support for me. The grab bikes, the drivers are also very good. They try their level best to help you in everything that you need. So let me just check the price. So 96,000 RP is what they are going to charge if I'm going by grab bike, and for grab bike XL is 98,000, and if you are going by car, I guess it will be almost around 250,000 rupees as far as, okay, just let me show you that also. Just give me a moment, because it's not that you are going to travel solo always just like me. So if you are traveling with your family, let me just show you what will the grab price be if you're going by grab car. Well, okay, sorry, I'm very sorry with that, because you have to actually the grab point actually where the bike is going to drop is almost around 500 meters. You have to walk that way to the airport, but for the grab car it will drop you just at the airport. Okay, so 327,000 is the grab price, and for XL is 393,000. So for bike it's almost around 500 Indian rupees, and for car it's going to be almost around 1500 Indian rupees from Ubud to the Bali airport, and it will take almost around 1 hour 15 minutes time. It's almost 10:03 at the clock, as you can see it here. And if there is a traffic jam, then do expect it to be almost around 1 hour 35-40 minutes. So come on, let's book a grab bike and let's go. I'm really going to miss Indonesia and Bali, and also this place. Thank you for everything. Hello. Hello. Yeah, checked out. Okay. Checked out. Check. Yeah. Yeah, you can check the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Morning.
Hello. Morning. I go.
Oh, you
Yeah. Yes. I booked. I checked out actually. So.
Luggage only this one.
Yes.
Okay, my day there.
Yes. Where is he? I wanted to meet him before going.
Yeah. Still iron.
Oh. Okay.
Oui. Kau ở nhà mò.
So the owner was actually sleeping at his room, and he just came from work 20 minutes back. So he waved me from his room only, and he was also a bit emotional. I told him I'm going to contact him in WhatsApp, and definitely going to send some people at his place, because it's one of the best places that you can stay here in Ubud. Basically they don't allow the Grab drivers to go near the airport gate on their bikes for pickup and drop off because of some syndicate taxi drivers. I also faced the same issue when I was coming here in Bali, and that day I couldn't find my Grab driver and also the Grab point in the map because I didn't have a SIM card, and when you get out of the airport there is no Wi-Fi also. So this is a problem which you might also be facing when you're coming here. It's not for Grab taxis that I can say, but it's only for Grab bikes and Gojek bikes as well. So I hope this helps. So right over here is the international arrival. This is the place from your trip is actually going to start when you are coming here in Bali, and this is also the same place from where your trip ends. You can see there are a lot of taxi drivers and also private car drivers waiting here along with the names in the list. Yeah. And just look at the beautiful airport right over here. It's absolutely beautiful. The Denpasar airport is one of the best you can see. Yeah, this side here. So the international departure is on the 3rd floor of this airport, and you can use the lift just like I did to come up over here, and you can also explore the airport. It's very beautiful here, and spend some time if you are having to wait for your flights for 2-3 hours.
T'as envie de pleurer?
So just after the checking, you can see there is the immigration counter and the departure gates all in this way. You can see the immigrations happening here. Let me just find the counter where AirAsia is, and we'll be collecting the boarding passes from there. I've already done my web checking through the AirAsia app. So let me just see where the AirAsia counter is right now. Well, the AirAsia counter is on E, as they have said, so you need to walk a bit to come to section E here. It's not that like a big counter which you will be getting at the Calcutta airport or maybe some other airports in India, because there are a lot of international flight carriers here. So I'm just walking towards E right now, gate number E, as we can say. Pin 2 is what they call for gates, by the way. Well, there is a huge queue at the AirAsia counter, and it's like 5 to 6 counters here, as you can see. We just need to walk a few meters from the main gate to come here. It's all marked there, and you can always ask the security guards here. Well, my first flight from Bali is still Kuala Lumpur, and it will start from 2:25 AM afternoon, and it will reach there almost around 4 o'clock. And after that there is a layover of almost 4.5 hours, and then we will be taking another flight from Kuala Lumpur to Kolkata. So stay tuned. So after the immigration, you can see this is the place from where you can do a lot of shopping here at the airport itself, and it's duty free, so the prices will definitely be a bit less. And just look how beautiful this place is I was talking about. This is actually the departure hall, as they say. And there are a lot of stores actually to buy some food and also collect some souvenirs along with some wines as well. Well, there is one thing that is bad here in this airport, and it is that they don't allow you to carry a water bottle even if it's empty. So for me it's like a very long flight, from here to Kuala Lumpur and then back to India, and I would actually need to buy a water bottle, but fortunately I do carry a steel glass with me, which I can always refill, but that is only at the airport but not inside the flight, because at the flight they won't give you any water for free. So keep this thing in mind when you're coming here. Let me just give you some information here regarding the SIM cards. So basically when you come down at any airport, you will definitely need a SIM to travel in and around the places here or wherever you're going. So right over here there are a lot of agencies who are providing SIM, and what I did actually was I tried to take a SIM card from outside the airport and thought it would be much more cheaper, but it wasn't the same. Actually the price is almost the same on what you will be getting here and also outside the airport at in Kuta or maybe someplace else. But the only difference is that when you are buying a SIM card right from the airport, they say that you can only connect it with one device. Even you cannot use a hotspot to other device, which is actually a bummer here. And the SIM which I bought actually from outside, on that you can actually use hotspot to your mobile as well as all other devices that you are carrying. So that is the only difference from buying a SIM card right from inside and outside the airport. So right from the airport itself, you can see a very big statue, which is the statue of the Garuda Vishnu temple. Let me just show you from here. This is absolutely beautiful. As you can see right over there, the statue of Garuda Vishnu visible. If you have missed the first video of me coming from India to Bali, let me just give you the requirements that you need to carry actually. You need a valid passport. Along with that you need documents like your COVID certificate and your flight tickets and hotel bookings. But here what I have seen that they don't check much. They just check your return flight tickets and your passport, a valid passport definitely. And visa on arrival, you can do it easily here. It's almost around $32 to $34 that you pay. And you can also apply visa on arrival from the internet also. I have just made a video on that also. You can check it out. It's in my Bali playlist itself. Well, you can also opt for the online e-visa process. I have made a dedicated video on that as well. The price is almost the same, but what it helps is that you don't need to stand in a queue actually right over here for the visa on arrival. You just come with your e-visa and get stamped at the airport and leave for your tour here in Bali. So you can do that as well, and visa on arrival is another process which you can do. So both options are here for Indians in Bali. So right over there is gate number 9B, from where I'll be boarding my flights to Kuala Lumpur, and it is actually on the fag end of the International Departures Airport. It will take almost around 10 minutes to 15 minutes time to come. So if you are late, do remember this thing, that it will take you 15 minutes time to reach from the main counter or the check-in process till gate number 9B if your flight is on 9B. So Bali is actually a place where you can visit all year round, but the major season time starts from June and ends almost at the end of September. Right now I am here in Bali in the month of July, which is actually the end of the rainy season and also the start of the summer season. But the temperature here in Kuta was almost around 24 to 25 degrees, and I didn't need any kind of warm clothes. But when you go to Ubud, the temperature is going to be a bit different. Right over there the temperature is almost around 19 to 20 degrees, and if you are doing the Mount Batur tour, then definitely you would be needing a jacket, which by the way you can also hire. I have already made a dedicated video on that. Do check it out. I have done the beautiful sunrise trek on the Mount Batur. So I hope this information helps you a lot, because if you are carrying some jacket, you will definitely be needing it only in Ubud, but not here in Kuta in the month of July. So it's 2:35 at the clock and my flight is at 2:45, As you can see, I am just going to go towards the boarding. Well, it's time to say goodbye to Bali, and it was an emotional journey for the last 7 days. Had some beautiful moments, and I've already shared it with you all, so don't miss those things. The videos are all there in my Bali playlist itself. So my seat number here is 25C, and I'm a bit unlucky that I didn't get a window seat, but I got one for the next flight because I did my web check-in before. So it will take me 3 hours time to reach. So see you all at the Kuala Lumpur airport. So let me just go and show you guys the international arrival hall, the place where we will be waiting actually for the next 4 hours for our next flight to Calcutta. And this is one of the most beautiful airports here in Southeast Asia, and it is actually a part of it actually, because Terminal 1 is where they land all the flights except AirAsia, and this airport, or the Terminal 2 airport here, is dedicated only for AirAsia flights. Yes, it's only for AirAsia flights. That's because it is their major international and domestic carrier. The flight journey was quite comfortable, and this flight was having some good leg space also. As usual, AirAsia doesn't provide you with any water for free, and it was 45 minutes late almost, because there was a big queue for the flights even to fly. And this is the first time I saw something like that. Flights all are waiting just for takeoff, but fortunately the captain was very good actually, and he dropped the flight actually almost at the right time. It was just 10 minutes late, but he recovered almost 40 minutes, sorry, almost 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. So it was a good and pleasant journey, and right now I am at the place where I have almost been like more than 4 or 5 times, so I know where what is, and I'm going to show you some of the places which are actually accessible for me, to give you a vibe of how beautiful the Kuala Lumpur Terminal 2 is actually. So when you are having a flight layover at Kuala Lumpur's Terminal 2, this is the place where you will be actually waiting. It's a big place. I have already shown you while coming here to Bali actually. Kuala Lumpur was the place where I had my layover, and again I'm back here before going back to India. Right over here are the list of flights along with the timings, and they will also be giving you the gate numbers. And there is a huge place. This is actually a huge place actually to sit, take rest, and there are a lot of places from where you can do a lot of shopping as well. So we'll be waiting here for the next few hours before boarding in to our next flight back to India. And there will also be a customs checking, as it was for the last time, because they always check whether you are carrying something which is not there in the list to be carried for the flights. So this is the area where you will be waiting for your flight layovers, and as I've already told you, you should be having proper boarding pass, and also you should be checking whether you need a transit visa or not. I have done a dedicated video on that, on whether you are applicable for transit visa when you are having a layover in a very different country. So do check that out, because it will be very informative for you. I will link the video down in the description for you all. As I've already told you, I'm going to wait here, maybe have some food also, and after that I'll be boarding on towards my next flight. So after finishing off with the customs checking, after finishing off with the customs checking, I'm on my way towards gate number 3. All the gates are in this way itself, and It's almost 9:20 at the clock, so it's almost around an hour I will have to wait here. And there are a few options to have food from in this particular section. The toilets here are all over the airport, so there won't be any problem. You can see right over here the color is pink, and this is the common color you will be actually seeing actually in all the toilets, by the way. This is mainly the departure place where you sit and wait for your flights, and this is P3 gate number. This is the first time in my life here in Kuala Lumpur I'm not having to walk much. Most of the times my gate numbers are above 10. So there is a huge amount of people waiting here. You can see, I guess there is a flight before that maybe. Oh no, there is not. So everyone is going towards Kolkata this time. Well, let me just give you an information here. If you want to buy some food and eat at the airport, or maybe take it with you actually on the plane, there won't be a problem. I tell you why. Because they are not checking for any luggage weight right over here, so it's just a basic customs checking that they do. So you can always carry your food from here if you want, or from any airport maybe when there is a layover, because I have not seen any weight checking after you get the boarding passes. So this can be a bit helpful for anyone who is actually willing to do something like this. Well, this is the age-old flight AK0063, which is the only flight that flies every day from this airport and this time to Kolkata. And I have been here in this flight for the third time, and just see the leg space here. There is no leg space. This is one of the worst flights of AirAsia, what I feel actually. There is no leg space, and they drop the temperature a lot. So let's see what happens today. It's 11:50 at the clock, and the flight was actually delayed by 30 minutes early on, and it didn't make up the time, so we reached here 30 minutes late. Right now we'll be checking out from our airport, and let me just give you a quick tip here. Basically AirAsia gives you a free cabin luggage of 7 kgs, but if you're paying extra, you can go for hand luggage as well, which you can collect from the belts. Actually they are going to announce just for this, just for example, like for this flight it was belt number 11, from where you can collect your check-in luggage. So this is it. There won't be immigration here. It's just a stamp they will be providing. Sorry, it's not about immigration. There won't be any customs check here for us, because we are from this particular country itself, and the ones who are traveling from outside, they will be having a customs check. Immigration is for everyone, and it's a mandate, by the way, because if they don't give a stamp of arrival here, then logically I am not from India and not from Bali also, so I'm like in nowhere's land. So I hope you all enjoyed the series. Do watch all the videos to get the best information on how you can travel to Bali on a budget. And if you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section below. See you all again in a very different country, or maybe in a very different state in India. So take care. Bye bye.